Hello everybody, it's me, Bo Shevasu. We are live here just south of Seattle, Washington. It is a beautiful August 30th, and it is 7:19 p.m. in the evening, Pacific Standard Time. I don't know where you're tuning in from this gorgeous evening, or perhaps it may even be in the middle of the night where you are. I don't know, but today on today's Bo Show, we have a wonderful guest. And ladies and gentlemen, please put your palms together for none other than Obadiah Bible Boy. Yay! Yes, this is Obadiah Bible Boy, and he's actually my good friend.
What? You said you hate me.
No, I don't. I love you. He's my favorite book in the world. He's a sarcastic little guy. He takes everything very, very seriously.
What? No. You got a problem with me.
No. So, a little backstory. A few of you who have been following me for a very long time, you actually know of Obadiah Bible Boy and his proclivity towards violence. Nothing against the Bible itself. It's a wonderful book, but he himself, he is a puppet. He is a puppet. And he just has some deep-seated resentment. Not according to the content of the book. It's a wonderful book, but he himself, he's been working on it.
Excuse me. My name is Obadiah Bible Boy, and I'm here to tell you all about all the things that I read in the Old Testament that you think are just horrible.
No, I don't. They're important things within the context of our faith, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to give a little shout out to Obadiah and all his fans out there. Remember, my sarcastic little friend will be making guest appearances throughout the duration of this live broadcast. But for now, he spied some communion wine over there, and he's going to go take advantage of it, right?
Yeah, Zora. Is this live?
Yes, it is live.
So I can't say anything that you can edit out later.
Correct. Right. So please don't say anything defamatory, okay?
Okay, goodbye. Ooh.
Yeah, the communion wine's right over there. All right, so on to the show we go. So today is just amazing because we have a sponsor. Yes, these are tactical hair clips. These are the tactical black hair clips. You heard that correctly. These are essentially multi-tools for your hair. If you ever wanted to be that person in the situation where someone says, I wish I had a pocket knife on me so I could open up this Amazon package, and there you are, and you pull out your tactical hair clip and you save the day. That's because built within these hair clips is essentially a multi-tool. It's all on how you use it though. You are only as good as your knowledge of the tool. So this won't magically make you MacGyver overnight in the same way if I were to drop you in the middle of the wilderness with a fishing rod and said, go survive, you probably wouldn't know what to do unless you have the mindset and the innovation and the creativity. And that's exactly what these tactic clips open up for those of the creative mind. So for the urban warrior, the mom who's going to and from soccer practice, who doesn't have a chance to slip a pocket knife into her pocket, or maybe she can't find her tweezers in her purse, this multi-tool is a game changer. I've traveled to over 33 different countries. Most of these countries, I've actually had these tactic clips within my baseball cap, and they get through TSA no problem. That's because it's not a knife. It's not sharp. It's a hair clip, a multi-tool. Go ahead and check them out. There is a link down below, and as a matter of fact, I actually have a promo code that is exclusive to this broadcast itself. So 25% off this broadcast. If you're watching a recording of this, I don't actually know if it's going to be working for you, but if in fact you also want to check out the blonde style tactical hair clips, they're pretty epic. At least if you have a blonde in your household, you can see in the description down below that these blend right in. As a matter of fact, a little behind the scenes about these guys. Why blonde? Why blonde? Well, if you follow Tacticlip on Kickstarter, there are actually quite a few innovative products that are put out that essentially combine beauty and being chic with utilitarianism. Does that make sense? So you have a hair clip, and yet you also have a multi-tool. It's kind of this beautiful fusion of the two. And I almost wish there were more products out there like that that would allow us to combine multiple things into one thing. You know, if you're going to carry around a piece of metal in your hair to keep your hair out of your face, you might as well have a ruler on one side, metric, and then an imperial ruler on the other side, and a wire stripper, and a raptor claw, and a serrated edge, and a mini screwdriver. Right? Yeah, that's so cool. So, not meaning to oversell this or anything, but I appreciate these tactic clips right here, and they also come in a cyberpunk iridescent version, and that is Obadiah Bible Boy's absolute favorite because it gets in your face, and according to his words, what was it? Hey, Obadiah, yeah, get over here, put down the communion wine. Okay, he's back. What was that you like to say? The truth hurts. Yeah, that's right. Okay, go back. I see some crumbs on you right here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. So off little Obadiah goes. So tactic clips are just an amazing invention. But on today's show, we are going to be actually talking about some metrics because in Jeff Bezos' words, if you've ever heard of the guy, he's about yay tall, no hair, very wealthy, so I can't make fun of him. Very successful man. So Jeff Bezos once said, get out of the bathroom, you're taking too long. No, that's a Young Frankenstein quote. Jeff Bezos once said, if you want something to succeed, measure it. Curious, huh? See, you get all sorts of tidbits on this live broadcast. Not only is this educational, but entertaining. If you want something to succeed, measure it. Interesting. And that applies in all sorts of areas of life. Whether you're running a marathon, if you want to be the best, you're not just going to go out and hope for the best. Although some people who are annoyingly athletic could probably do something like that. But let's say, for example, your weight. Your weight. You know, if you're not actually measuring, you don't know where you start, you don't know where you're going to end. That is what blew away the industry with Fitbit. If you remember when Fitbit first came out, they had this idea of measuring your steps. It was kind of an outdated idea to exercise. You know, pedometers have been around forever, and they're not the most accurate of things. And when Fitbit first came out, it wasn't the most accurate either, but they digitized and they created this community around this pedometer. There was nothing really special about it. I mean, yeah, it kind of functioned as a watch also, but all of a sudden it was common nomenclature to say, how many steps did you get in today? Oh, I got over 10,000 steps. Right? Isn't that weird? So where I'm going with this is all of a sudden people were measuring something. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden people were getting fit. Even if they just went on a walk around the corner, they were measuring their steps. And so that's what I do with my influencing, which I really don't like to use that word because it infers that I'm trying to manipulate your emotions and trying to trick you into buying something that you don't need. If you see something here, awesome. If not, no offense taken. But if you want something to succeed, measure it. And so what I do, what makes me unique in my broadcast is I measure everything out of the thousands of video reviews that I've put out there. And yes, I've produced a lot. I'm able to see the metrics and see which ones are the most helpful. And so this saves so many people out there from slogging through all these videos and trying to click and guess, well, okay, here Bo talks about okay, I'm going to use a really bad example right here. I don't think this product is on Amazon anymore because some of my reviews can be absolutely brutal. That's another thing that makes me unique. I'm not here to just gush about something if it's bad. Okay, I don't want to throw my fellow influencers under the bus here, but point being, there are some things that are bad. I actually had a teepee that I got, as in like, you know, a Native American Indian teepee, a classic tent, and they created this toy teepee that this company sent to me. I set it up, and you can actually find this on my YouTube channel. There I am inside the teepee. It's just adorable. My daughters were playing in it. We absolutely love this thing. I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. Well, my sister had more kids, so I gifted her this teepee. I'm not going to hold on to this. What am I going to do? Curl up into a little ball and sleep in this thing? I'm not a child. Unless it's the weekends, then I am. Well, my sister texted me the next day, and she said, Bo, I think hidden within the tubes of this teepee were earwig eggs. Yeah. I don't know from what part of the United States you're turning into, but earwigs are these nasty little, think they're also called silverfish. These little creepy crawly bugs, and apparently they were hidden within the little PVC pipes of this teepee that you use to put the teepee together. So I had to change my review because initially I took all the footage, putting it together and having so much fun with this thing. And the review culminates in this teepee out in the yard erupting in flames and me screaming at it because all of these bugs hatched in my sister's living room and went all over the house. Oh man. And they've got like this old Victorian style, like over 100-year-old house. And I guarantee you there are cracks in the hardwood floor, and some of these things are probably still living there. So needless to say, people are a little leery when Bo Shevasu, yours truly, comes to a Christmas event and I have an Amazon item that I purchased and I'm repurposing as a gift because I can't keep everything that I review and make it videos on. And my sister's like, hey, did you put pesticides in this before you gave it to me? Yes, sister, it's a box of chocolates. Of course I did. No, I wouldn't do that. Amazon Live moderators, don't remove that comment. I know. Safety is within my top 5. I'm being good today. Okay, so today, first of all, as with every show, we need a bumper because if there's no bumper, it's not a show. That is one of the shortest bumpers you will ever see. You're welcome. Although I do miss Darkwing Duck. Any Darkwing Duck fans out there? Or I was actually singing Gilligan's Island yesterday, and yeah, I don't know. Well, I grew up homeschooled, so I grew up on a lot of these shows that were apparently for the sheltered demographic, which I don't say that in a bad sort of way. I like to laugh at people when they say, but Bo, didn't you have any friends when you were homeschooled? Oh, yes. Again, only on the weekends when my parents let me out. All right, this is so much fun. We're going to move on to the first most popular top-selling product here, and it is the first one noted down there in the carousel. This is a cargo bar. I'm just going to play the review so you can watch this thing. Actually, my brother helped me film this thing, and you can see his ugly face. I mean, you can see his face right at the very beginning as I demonstrate what in the world is a cargo bar. And no, it's not what you think. It's not a special bar that you put in your closet to hang up your cargo shorts, also known as purse pants. Have you heard that term before? Purse pants. They're amazing. Don't make fun of someone with cargo shorts because odds are they have a tourniquet in there. And if you're bleeding, they're not going to help you with their tourniquet in their purse pants. All right, let's roll it.
How do you release it? This is not intuitive.
This is 63 inches wide, and I was wondering as I was looking at the Amazon listing, does this actually work on truck bed liners? Now, first of all, fascinating technology here. It's basically like your ratchet strap, similar to this ratchet strap right here, and this just opens up like this. Or if you didn't want to do this, which is going to take forever, same with the ratchet strap, you can just pull this down like so and pull it out manually. So you pull it out all the way to there, and now it's up against. You just kind of hold it in place and gently start doing that like so. Isn't that just outstanding? I paused it on purpose. Don't worry, you're not having a difficult time with your connection right there. So this cargo bar, I actually used this to hold down some paddle boards this weekend driving over from Wenatchee. It's amazing. And just like that, we are in. I guess we can rotate it around like this so that the actual lever won't get in the way. A big unknown that I personally had, and hopefully this will save you a bit of time, is gotta have to kind of lift it up. And then watch this, 3, 2, 1, there it is. By the way, do you hear that screaming in the background? Those are our wonderful neighbors. And later on in this review, when I start playing it, it kind of throws me off. Because all of my reviews I try to do in one take. I don't try to edit it too much. You will see a cut or two, but those aren't designed to try to conceal anything. Because these aren't commercials. I really am sometimes just flying by the seat of my pants, which I have no idea where that term came from. If you're familiar with flying by the seat of your pants, please explain it to me. So this cargo bar is an absolute game changer because when it's there in the back of your truck, SUV, or if you have like a large trunk, let's say this October you're going to purchase some pumpkins and you don't want them rolling around everywhere, it's so versatile. You can just kind of ratchet it into place and it stays put. My daughter was actually bouncing up and down on top of this, which I didn't want her to. But then I realized that it's only $24.18 on Amazon. And if it breaks, which it did not break, then I'm not going to be too distraught over it. But this thing has been out in the weather for, I want to say, a year or two. I just leave it out there in the back of my truck. And if I go to the grocery store and I want to thread this through some handles, if there's no room in my cab, let's say I'm traveling with my whole family, I just put it in the back. And this thing prevents things from rolling all over the place. So if you have a pickup truck, this is a game changer. I have actually had conversations with my neighbors as we're leaning up against the side of this very truck, and they look over and they're like, what is that? Is that permanent? It's like, no, it's not permanent. Check it out. You push it like this and it detaches, and then they just geek out over it. It's just amazing. Let's play.
And we are disconnected. Wow. Now you can organize your truck, and I think our neighbors had a...
Okay. I was going to say, I think our neighbors had a little too much root beer to drink. Yes. So they're very nice people. And eventually I probably went over there and joined them. And I just absolutely love this thing because, excuse me. Sorry, Obadiah's photobombing us again.
Did you say root beer?
I did.
You sinner.
Okay, there goes Obadiah Bible Boy. As mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, I will have a special guest, and every once in a while he floats into my space. He's been with me ever since college. I actually studied theology and theater, double major. For the longest time, my parents thought I was going to be a televangelist. Oh boy. Hey, let's move on to one of my top most viewed reviews out there, and that is because this thing could potentially save your life. It's a carbon monoxide detector. So what I did,
I spent a bucket load of money.
And I got the top 5 most popular carbon monoxide detectors. Now, if you're not familiar with what carbon monoxide is, it is an odorless, tasteless gas that dissolves instantly in most liquids and is among some of the most poisons in the world. I think I'm bombing that line. It's a line from Princess Bride, iocane powder. You guys knew that. If you're geeks at heart, you knew I was trying to quote that. But no, seriously, carbon monoxide is dangerous. and you can't tell if it's seeping in through your walls from exhaust from your car or your neighbor's car or your lawnmower. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to test to see how effective these are. And I saw a lot of video reviews on YouTube because I don't pretend to be all special where I'm like, well, surely someone else has tested the top 5 or top 10 carbon monoxide detectors out there. Like a local fire department would have done this, right? No. Well, if they do, they get this cute little spray can with carbon monoxide in it, and they go up and go, and they spray it on the detector, and the detector beeps or chimes or does whatever, and they go, see, it works. And my thought bubble was, aren't there other things involved? It's not just pure carbon monoxide. Like, let's say, for example, it's a vehicle spraying this poison gas into your garage, and in that exhaust are other particles, or particulates. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the word is, but basically, what if those things, the moisture clogs up your carbon monoxide detector? So here is my sketchy redneck test. What I did is I loaded up 5 of them. I know this looks so sketchy. It's definitely going to put me on the watch list. So I loaded up the top 5 ones, and I thought for sure all of them would work. And it would be a super easy test. And I'd be like, see guys, you rest assured, buy any detector on Amazon. That's false. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure one of them has been like taken down. Yeah. So I cut a little hole. You can't quite see it, but it's in the upper right. And sticking through the hole is the exhaust pipe of my truck. and I go and I start up the pickup truck, and you can see it start because you can see the cellophane kind of billow. It's not a perfect seal, but man, it is pouring carbon monoxide into there. And I've got headphones on because I know that these things are going to be loud. All right, so I have them all set up, and you want to know which ones are going to work and which ones are not? Shame. All right, okay, let's there I am describing things. Of course, I am a theater major. I have a background in mime, that is like pantomime, so I like to use lots of hand gestures and whatnot. I'm a horrible ventriloquist, by the way. Don't think that I'm able to throw my voice or anything like that. And especially when Obadiah Bible Boy comes in and he tries to make a sarcastic cameo appearance without me noticing. Yeah, okay, so there's the pipe in there. It's all gonna billow in. This is so much fun. All right, we're gonna turn.
Go off, which ones do not go off, and you'll be able to see based off of the little blinky lights on each of them. Here we go.
By the way, for your convenience, I have all of these products linked in the description below. So if you are actually on Amazon right now, you don't have to click around and try to find this or search this. I provide it for your convenience. Plus, it gives me a little bit of a kickback. Not that I'm trying to oversell anything here, but it is kind of nice to buy groceries for my family. They think I failed at life as being an influencer. Ah, no, I actually have jobs elsewhere. I have a lot of jobs, actually. I'll tell you about them shortly, including pantomime. But let's continue.
And it just died. One up there doesn't even have a oh, wait. Oh, there it goes. They're not actually, oh, wait, one's finally going off. Boy, that took a while.
All right. So we don't have to watch this whole thing, but point being, the Kitty smoke detector, actually carbon monoxide detector, technically, the Kitty, Kidde, all of those brands worked. They worked. Some of them had a bit of a delay, but eventually they did work. And then they just died. I think it's because there's so much moisture pouring in from the exhaust right there. And so I was shocked that the other two top sellers on Amazon didn't even beep. And I was pouring a lot of particles. I don't know what the word is. I only speak English. But I was surprised that these others did not work. As a matter of fact, it's called the X-Sense. And I was so looking forward to the X-Sense one actually working because it has a 10-year battery life. That's awesome. And then the First Alert Z-Wave smoke detector. It's at nearly 8,000 reviews, and that one did not work. But the ones that I'm pointing at right there, the Kitty smoke alarms that are highlighted in the carousel right there, those did eventually work. And then they died because I really stress test them. So hopefully this video will pay itself off because I was really hoping that they would work again and I could just repurpose them for my house. Yeah, but that's okay. I put my life and my pocketbook on the line so that you guys don't have to. There you go. Plus, fun little thing here. Did you know that all of my videos that I show on this channel are my own videos? It's my own content. I'm not stealing other people's stuff. Oh, did I just say that? Nor am I just kind of floating around the Amazon pages and we're shopping together. Nonsense. All of this B-roll is actual live field footage that I gather for you. You're welcome. Okay, so we just saw that one. Now we're gonna move on to a wonderful way of securing your shed door. This is a doorbell chime. It sounds like something that you would get in a convenience store. You know, you walk in and it goes beep boo, something. Well, this I hooked up on my shed because I was watching a YouTube documentary. You know, late at night you get in these YouTube wormholes and you just go down, and all of a sudden you know everything there is to know about flat earth theory. Even if you don't agree with it, you're still like, yes, I need to know if aliens could in fact have built the pyramids. Which is really funny that they've got all this wacky stuff on YouTube, and yet they turn around and they remove all the people questioning COVID. Anyway, not gonna get political here. It's just weird. They got these other weird theories out there that are bizarre. Flat Earth. I mean, seriously, guys. And yet they're censoring other scientists, some of whom I know personally, who started to question certain things that the government was doing. And suddenly they got removed. All right, now that I'm on the NSA watch list, hey, let's move on to this guy right here, this Doorbell Alarm. Where I was going with YouTube documentaries. Look, squirrel. So I was watching a burglar talk about what he does and where he finds stuff that he can flip, basically take to a pawn shop. And he said, sheds are awesome. Usually there's power tools in there. Usually they're not locked. Usually they're away from the house. They're away from people. They're away from animals and dogs. And so now my shed is like Fort Knox. I've got cameras everywhere. I've got sensor lights. I've got a little chihuahua in there that I go out and I don't feed. So he's just this ravenous little thing. I'm saying all this so he won't go in my shed. It's also locked. And it also has a doorbell alarm. Check this out. So this thing right here, I set up to wirelessly go off and chime inside my house. Even though this thing is far away. Look how far away that is, right? Yeah. And so this thing I have hooked up to the door. So whenever the door is opened, it goes dee-doo or some kind of boop, 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 boop. There's like 30 or 50 different chimes. I forgot how many chimes there are that you can choose. By the way, I want to actually point out this thing right here. Did you know that that is a slide? Yes. When my wife and I decided to get a deck, I said yes under one condition. We have a slide going off of our deck. Now, before you think I'm too much of a weirdo, yes, we do have children. However, I did kind of request the slide selfishly. And you get going fast on this thing. You like so darn fast. It was either that or a fireman pole, or I was going to insist that we move the trampoline closer to the house. So in the event of a fire, we could just jump out the window onto the trampoline, which may be awkward because, you know, just jumping onto a trampoline from that great of a height, you might in fact twist an ankle. Trampolines are just infamous for twisting joints. I mean, any of you ever get hurt on a trampoline? I know I have tons of times. It's amazing that they outlawed lawn darts and yet we still have trampolines everywhere. Anyway, I'm not going to get all hyper lawyer or lawsuity or anything because I think it's quite fun, as evidenced by the fact that we have a giant pipe going down our deck. And that thing's like 1,000 pounds. Our neighbor was so cool. At first I thought, oh, this is going to be so ugly. I mean, look, it looks like a construction zone in the backyard. And yet he helped us. He came over and he's a strong guy. Thank goodness he helped us move this thing into place. But those ribs on the outside, that's not what it looks like on the inside. It's smooth. And we got this thing for maybe $600 or something from a local construction supplier. And he came by and rolled it off the back of his truck and took off and said, I don't know what you're doing with this, but good luck. So there you go. Hey, on to the actual review itself. So this doorbell chime works wonderfully because, actually I'm going to pause it, just skip ahead right here because I'm talking. So see that little device on the right? That plugs into your wall. So basically put that in any place that, like your hallway, for example, with a lot of traffic. And then the little modular, take two. Wait, this is live. I can't do that. The little module on the left is the part that goes on the door frame. And then right above that, see that little white square? That thing goes on the actual door. And that's how I installed it. And so when that sensor and then that door sensor are disconnected, then that speaker on the right goes off. Cool, huh? It's a very simple setup. I've had that thing out there for, I want to say, a year. Even in like the dead of winter where there's snow, the battery life is still rocking. So, and it does come with like a little AAA battery and all sorts of fun accessories. Let's skip ahead, and I actually want to show you. So there it is. That's what it looks like in the house. So very non-obtrusive. And I also show you actually how to pair this thing, because the instructions are not intuitive at all. And it took me a long time to try to figure out how to pair this thing. So if you actually go to this product page itself, you will see this full video. So I don't have to bore you too much. But I do want to actually show you here in the shed. So this is looking up, and there I am out there in the middle of the night talking in the shed by myself, and probably making my neighbors even more concerned if they're not already, because I'm also an FFL. You know what that means. You know what that means. So my neighbors are like, do we trust the FBI to be trusting Bo to do background checks? You betcha. All right, so enough of the FFL stuff. So you will see that the door, as it closes, it's like 2 millimeters away from that sensor. And when it disengages, it goes all the way to the house, and I can hear when someone is, oh, right there. I can hear when someone is sneaking into my shed trying to steal my leaf blower, you know, or oh, hello, Maryland. Wait, it wasn't Maryland. It was John, right? I'm trying to remember names here. You're from Maryland, though. Hey, nice to see you, man. Last I saw you, we were trail running, weren't we? I was. What were you doing? Oh, so this doorbell chime is so darn cool. Put it on your shed, and then you will be notified if a thief is trying to sneak in and steal your weed whacker. Or I don't know what they say on the East Coast. Is it weed eater or weed whacker? I don't know which, but that's just kind of one of those strange things that there are some places on the East Coast where they, for example, there's one place, is it in Maryland? I think it's in Maryland where they call it a bubbler. Do you know what a bubbler is? It's a drinking fountain. Yeah, I just learned that. I call it a drinking fountain. Who calls it a bubbler? I don't know, but someone had a cease and desist in Vermont or Maryland or somewhere, and they said, we can't call it a drinking fountain, you gotta call it a bubbler. Yeah, go figure. See, you learn all sorts of interesting things on this live broadcast. Here we go. I have no security, so I have no clue. I have no security. But you can have security. You can, I promise you, with something like this. All right, so if you're just tuning in, we are going through my top most helpful reviews that, as of today, actually, have had the most views, the most sales, and all cards are on the table, and I'm sharing with you guys my secrets. So these videos right here have done wonders in helping people. And sometimes I don't even know if a video will help people. I just start kind of making it. I'm like, yes, these are tactical hair clips. These are interesting. And suddenly my videos take off like wildfire, and the companies are calling me, and women are throwing children at me to have me bless their children and things like that. Hey, let's actually check out this fire ladder. Okay, check it out. See what I just deployed right there? This is another one of my most helpful reviews. And this guy right here, I actually go quite in depth. Most videos I try to keep really short and sweet. I try to have minimal editing, one take, so I'm proving to customers that I'm not trying to conceal anything. This was heavily edited. And as we play this along, you see my daughters in the background playing on this thing. I went to the extent of setting this up on my window and also testing it with my daughters. Of course, I do have my hand on there. I didn't say, hey kid, jump out the window. Amazon Live moderators, don't worry. I do have consent to have my children here. And yes, we were perfectly safe. There we go. So anyway, disclaimers. Don't you love disclaimers now? They're basically just a little checkbox for the lawyers. But anyway, hey, let's check out this thing. So when you pull that rib tab, the whole thing deploys and unfans similar to an accordion, okay? Well, you can see that it works for me because I have long, lanky arms. I'm 6'2", 175 pounds, and I try to stay fit. And as evidenced by my last live streams out, I was actually doing some live trail running, and I had like 21 items on me that I purchased on Amazon, and I was able to talk about them there out in the field and say, hey, these shoes are awesome. Hey, these socks, they have holes in them. Things like that. Yeah, isn't that helpful? It's helpful. So as you can see my daughter right here, who is being held onto, don't worry, perfectly safe. You can see that she's trying to pull that rip tab right there, and it's not working. Lame. Now, I don't know if Kitty, who is the manufacturer of this thing, I don't know if they've changed the design since the release of this video. Doesn't look like it, as I'm looking down below at this thing that is being sold for $44.98. But a little kid is going to have difficulty ripping that pull tab and unfanning this thing. I could do it, but she can't. And she was, what, 8, 9 years old as of the making of this video? Hey, there's all my garbage cans out there. What a slob. Hey, let's continue. All right, so see, she can't do that. That's so sad. Oh, also, it's flooding out there. Did you see all the water out there? Oh, man, that is just so rednecky. Now, before you throw too many stones at me, you see the extension cord right there? Bo, why is there an extension cord near a giant body of water? That extension cord better not be plugged in. Oh, it is. It is. So this is another good theft deterrent. You put a live extension cord in a body of water, and when they walk into the water, no, I'm kidding. I don't do that. It's not safe. So the extension cord is hooked up to a pump. It's a sump pump, and we're sucking out all the water. And so, yes, it is sealed. It is perfectly safe. But from this vantage point, I will admit, it looks really sketchy. So as I am demonstrating this thing, I go through basically how to remove your screen. I warn people that if you have a screen in the way, some of them can be rather difficult for a little kid to get through. It may seem like no duh for you and me. We could just punch through it. But for a little kid, when there are fire alarms going off everywhere and smoke, and they're trying to have the wherewithal to, oh yeah, I've got to escape out the window. Yeah, just practice with your kids. Talk about things. Be like, hey, in the event of a fire, when you escape out of the house, where are you going to call 911? And we've had this discussion with them. It's like, well, I'm going to this person's house. Okay, if you knock on the door and if they're asleep and they don't wake up, where do you go? Then we'll go to this person's house. So you have to talk through things like that with kids. Otherwise, in the heat of the moment, even most adults don't know how to react in the heat of a situation. Heat of the situation. Aren't I clever? By the way, why is it capitalizing heat? Do they think I'm talking about Miami Heat? What is wrong with, yeah, they think I'm talking about the Miami Heat. I don't even know if they're with Miami anymore. I don't even keep up with sports. But anyway, so adults don't even really know what to do in a bad situation. As evidenced by last year, when most of the population went and bought toilet paper. It's a respiratory virus, and everybody got toilet paper. Yep. All right, let's continue with this review. Volume.
Tab, you can no longer pull this and disengage the screen. Okay, so you're gonna have to maybe show them, look guys, you're gonna have to really put a lot of weight into this without falling out the window, okay? So for our particular purposes, I am going to gently take the screen off like this, and already that plastic tab, which is out in the elements all the time, it's getting brittle. Now we're gonna hop directly into how this is deployed. First of all, take it out of the box. It does come tightly packaged. You're gonna pick it up like so. All the red goes outside. You're gonna open it up like this, and then out we go, and then hook it on the outside and then onto the inside. Now it's designed in such a way that the more weight you put on it, the more it bites into the house. Then after it's in position, you reach out here and there's a Velcro tab. And once you pull that, it fans out, sort of like an accordion all the way down. You will swing quite a bit because that ladder is about 6 inches away from the house. And it looks like the cat almost went out all by herself. The only complaint is, I wish that they had some kind of instructions on how to put this thing back together after you deployed it.
Oh, Obadiah, what are you doing? What are you doing? Sorry, Obadiah Bible Boy was trolling my live stream right here. I just stepped away for a moment to grab a glass of water as you were watching this amazing video, and the little guy, he's all about fame. You know, he's got a good heart, he's got a good internal message, but on the outside, he's got some rough edges to smooth out.
Hey, I heard that.
Yeah, I heard you too. Quiet. Stop bombing my live stream. Anyway, as I'm talking about this right here, I notice with a lot of these one-time use products, because I'm mentioning that you can't put this ladder back together. What? Now, a lot of one-time products make sense. Let's say pepper spray, for example. You know, you're going to squirt it and it goes, okay, all right, that makes sense. A fire extinguisher, that's another great example. Okay, odds are it's going to work. But something like this, I want to practice with. Fire extinguisher, I kind of know how they work. I've actually used like quite a few of the practice ones before, or even the practice mace. They have practice mace that's water. Actually, there's another review of my daughter actually spraying me with this water-based pepper spray, and it's absolutely hilarious. But this right here, you can't put back in the package. You can't put it back together.
But at the end of the day, if you were to consider this like a fire extinguisher in that it's a one-time use, sure, might as well put it in your bedroom. It's easy to kind of fold up, stick in the closet. If you can afford it, might as well.
There we go, there we go. So this one surprised me because I didn't give it a full 5 out of 5 stars. And yet this is one of my top sellers. And the only reason I can think about that is that I'm not trying to oversell it like I'm making a commercial. Like, this will save your life. You know, all these commercials try to sensationalize things. If you have an exit point in your home out of your bedroom, like multiple exit points, you're probably going to be okay. But if you live in an ancient castle down a long hallway and you're basically Rapunzel trapped in a tower and there's a fire that starts in the hallway, okay, you should have long hair like Rapunzel or an actual fire ladder like this. Or if you're strong enough, a rope to climb down. Or if you know how to climb down a rope, you know, doing like the little J hook. If you don't know what that is, if you're don't have a military type background, then go ahead and look it up. It's how to descend a rope or climb a rope using your feet. It's really, really cool. I am not military. However, I have done a lot of Spartan races, obstacle course races, and I have actually been hired by NBC Sports to film as a rabbit camera, meaning that I run after these elite racers doing these obstacle courses. Isn't that cool? And so I got to observe how these guys and gals who were incredibly strong, incredible athletes, and they were able to climb and descend these ropes in a fashion where they put their feet under and were able to shimmy up and shimmy down. And so that's really something that CrossFit, if you've ever done that, they've adopted that. And of course, they're just all probably stealing it from some guy in the military who invented it back in the 1800s. But it's a great technique. Back to this. There's the fire ladder. Really interesting, huh? So I unfurled it and deployed it. I tried to put it back together, and now it's sitting in my garage. And I just kind of lost out on $44.98 because it kind of takes up space in our room, and there's multiple exit points from all of our rooms. And so odds are jumping out of a window is probably not going to be in the deck of cards. If in fact your house is erupting in flames, which is like a 1 in a million chance. I don't know. Not throwing out real statistics here, but then think of not only what are the odds of your house catching on fire, but what are the odds that you're actually trapped in your room and you can't get out. You know, if you're a firefighter and you recommend having an additional exit point in your room for $44.98, then right on, more power to you. But for our particular use, it's pretty easy to get out of our house, but not easy to get in. Kato, where are you? Do not try to attack me, my little friend. He actually called him something else in that, which I think would get my live stream taken down if I parroted exactly what he called Kato. Such a good movie. Oh, man. Okay, hey, it is flea season. What? Yeah.
All right, everybody, I'm going to show you exactly how to apply this. First of all, you're going to get this little guy and you're going to open it up like so, and then you're going to use the top of that cap to push in this direction like that.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, Bo, why are we talking about fleas? Well, earlier today, I was cleaning up the sink in our bathroom, and I felt a little tickle on my calf. And I looked down. I immediately pulled out my flashlight because I'm an EDC kind of guy. Olight flashlight, Baton 3. I actually talk about it in another broadcast along with some other EDC lights. I know a lot of Olights get flack for it, but anyway, I used something that I purchased on Amazon. I looked on my calf, and there was a flea. Ew, I know, on my calf. Oh boy, if that doesn't give you the willies, I don't know what does. Maybe that thing at the beginning of this broadcast that I was talking about with the silverfish, the little creepy crawler earwigs that I found in that teepee, tent that I bought off of Amazon. Yeah, that was bad too. But anyway, a flea. It wasn't biting or anything. It was just kind of quickly crawling around. Those little buggers can move. And so I was like, so I quickly grabbed it with my fingers and threw it into the sink, which I was cleaning, and put all sorts of hot water in there. And when I'm out playing in the dirt, playing with the chickens, bugs, dirt get all over you. But when you're in the comfort of your own home and you look down and there's a flea crawling up your leg, it's kind of gross. So anyway, we've been treating our cats quite a bit, and this stuff works okay. I'm actually quite surprised that it is selling. It's like one of my top sellers. And then that's simply because I demonstrate how to apply this on your cat. And I'm going to do it on Strawberry. She's just adorable. Yes. Oh, right there. So you put it right on the back of the shoulder blades, and then you just kind of rub it in. If your cat senses something, because cats do, they're intelligent creatures, and they're like, uh-oh, putting some kind of medicine on me. Yeah, see that right there? She's like, wait a second. This is weird. There we go. And I put the quintessential thumb up, which bothers my children. So this medicine is pretty cool because it lasts for a really long time. However, what I would actually recommend is there are some other flea treatments out there, which I'm going to cover in other broadcasts, mainly collars, flea collars. They're very expensive. I'm actually still testing them right now, and I'm not sure if they're working, as evidenced by the fact that I found a flea on me. I thought they were working. We'll see. They're expensive little guys. We're talking like $50 for a little rubber flea collar for a cat. I mean, whose cat is worth $50? Ours are. Of course they are. They've got sweet little personalities. They go out and kill songbirds for us. All right, so this stuff right here is reasonably priced, and it lasts a long time. And if you're concerned about a collar being on your cat, maybe they're indoor-outdoor cats, which they probably are if they're picking up fleas, then you don't want them jumping over a fence and getting caught on that collar or their bow tie. I'm wearing a bow tie. That's because my name is Bo. It's called branding. And so if you want to avoid putting a collar on your cat, especially if it's an indoor-outdoor, then this medicine stays in place, but you will have to apply it every few months. I want to say between 6 and 8 months. Forgot the exact packaging because I'm testing a lot of flea stuff right now, and they keep failing, like the flea fogger stuff that is another top seller because I show how it works. But you would think that those gases, it's kind of like a spray can, and you push it and it goes and just pesticide sprays all over your house, and you run out the door. You'd think that would kill everything. Well, it did kill all the fleas in our house, but our cats are still coming in with bugs, right? Kind of gross, but they're adorable creatures. So we bathe them and we put medicine on them, and they're just sweet little things. Yeah. All right, so another one of my top most helpful reviews is these command hooks, which is fascinating. Now, these command hooks, holy smokes, they're at 86,000 reviews. 86,000, that's crazy. Wow, they're making bank off of these things. Okay, so these command hooks are not intuitive to put up. You'd think they are. Double-sided tape, no duh, slap it on the wall, put a picture frame up. you're good to go. I, being my brilliant little hipster self, have thought of an idea to make this process much easier. Let's watch.
All right, guys, here's a little tip and trick to get the most out of your command strips. I warn you, it's gonna look a little weird, but I guarantee you, it's gonna save you some frustration. When you get to this step where you remove the backing off of this command strip and then the other command strip, and you've mounted it to your picture frame, or in this case, our plaque, see, it's on there. Typically, you just put it right up against the wall, and then you're supposed to peel the frame off of the wall. However, it's probably not going to remain this stuck to the wall. So here's what you need to do. Gently sort of poise it right there. Don't push them both together all the way. Then you're gonna get some foil like this, and you're gonna kind of stick it in there like so.
If I were to freeze frame this right here, this probably looks like something straight out of Breaking Bad. Like, what's this guy talking about? I mean, I even have a fluorescent like hippie shirt on. Oh boy, what have you gotten yourself into? Watch.
And then when you put this on the wall, it will press these up against the wall, but they won't actually bite against each other. The Velcro, the hook and loop won't bind. And so it will easily come off. Check it out. And look at that, they're all up there. Now we can go along and push these on there and hold them for a good 30 seconds to really ensure they are stuck up against the wall.
Amazing, just amazing. Now my command hooks are stuck up against the wall. And by the way, this this little sign, I love this. This is so much fun. I love my wife. So we kind of laugh at the live, love, laugh signs that you see in every home, everywhere. And maybe this is just our little cynical selves talking, but we got a custom engraved sign that says, is your coffee still in the microwave? I know. And it's right under the microwave, because we were just like, can't we have something practical, like live, love, lay down suppressing fire, or is your coffee still in the microwave? And it's so helpful. You're going along and you're like, oh man, I was in the middle of something. What was I doing? You look up and you see the sign. You're like, oh yeah, I was reheating my coffee for the 10th time. Better get it. So I did. By the way, this film crew hat, I also got custom made here on Amazon. You can get your own hats made. Maybe I'll do another video broadcast of that and how I actually did that. It's pretty cool how you can just, get whatever you'd like custom sewn onto a hat. What's that called? Custom sewn, not engraved. It's embroidered. That's the word. Both of them started with an E. Getting all mixed up here. And then that tie-dye shirt I actually got from my dad. He works at a small little startup company here in Seattle, Washington. It's called Amazon.com. Works at a warehouse. He used to work in other areas, but now he works in like the big warehouse where he just loves it. Absolutely loves it. And he helps trucks come in, and he distributes kayaks and refrigerators. And so if you buy something like that in the Pacific Northwest, he probably touched that box with his hand. That's amazing, right? So he gets all sorts of this stuff, including this t-shirt that he gave me, and it says Amazon on it, because I think that's so cool that you can get merchandise that most people can't. You can't quite get on eBay and find some of this stuff. And there we go. Yeah, how cool is that? Neat, neat, neat. All right, hey, let's move on to my second to the last review. Now, these are the most helpful videos that I've ever made, and I have put them together for you and your viewing pleasure. This one is fun because I do a side-by-side test to see if, in fact, this Goo Gone actually works. Let's
Hello
roll
everybody, it's me, Bo Shevasu. Today we will be doing a side-by-side test of this Yucky Grate and this Yucky Grate. They have cooked the exact same number of hours and meat on both of them. This is going to be the control over there, and this is going to be the Goo Gone. First of all, follow the instructions on the back. Don't actually spray this thing
Yeah, so the instructions basically say take the grill out. You don't want to actually spray it on there. And then put the grill on a newspaper. I was just laughing how dated that is. I mean, really, when was the last time you had a newspaper delivered? Some of you may actually be classic hipsters and you still get the newspaper. Good for you, supporting journalism. But for me, I signed up for our local newspaper and they just stopped delivering it. I had an active subscription. They just stopped. Maybe it's because I was in the paper too much. I'm also on city council here in my city. And so sometimes they quote me and they put me in the newspaper. And they've never misquoted me. They're actually quite good. Very, very reputable journalists. They're not just in it to sensationalize things or pit people against each other, which is the case in most of the media these days. So anyway, I sprayed the foam on here and it just kind of dissolved and went away. And I was kind of incredulous thinking, did it even do anything? All the foam is gone. So I went along and wiped it and it seemed okay. I was like, well, I got some stuff off. I mean, can't I just use like hot soapy water? Probably not soapy because these are cast iron griddles. And as you well know, you're not supposed to put soap on cast iron. Well, check it out. Check it out. If your griddle looks like this, it's probably cast iron. Yeah. And so I started rubbing it some more. I was like, okay, it's really coming off. This might actually be worth it. But let's go over and check out the control on this side. This side I did not spray. And I thought it's going to come off just as much. I started rubbing it like this, and it's basically like sandpaper, and it shredded my paper towel, and it got little bits all over it. I was like, man, okay, the Goo Gone is absolutely amazing stuff, and it really is. It smells like citrus. It smells very nice. And I used some of this Goo Gone stuff to actually remove some graffiti a long time ago from a one of those little metal electrical boxes out in front of our house. Someone a long time ago put graffiti on there, and this Goo Gone is amazing. It is like gold. Look, I'm even haphazardly spraying it all over our brand new deck. Yeah, that's right. Get it in there. Delicious. Okay, so this is the Goo Gone stuff. If you have a barbecue, it's much easier to clean with this stuff instead of standing there when you're hungry and you just like, great. Now I have to try to scrape this thing with my wire brush, which I did get one of those, but this makes it so much easier. Just remember, remove it from the grill. Don't spray it onto the grill because then you'll get these chemicals and residue baking onto the grill, and you don't want that stuff coming and searing into your filet mignon. So take it out, clean it on some cardboard or newspaper, and then put it back. Okay? All right. Hey, this is our very last review, and I am so surprised that this is still a top seller here on Amazon. It's a Longcaster. What was that? Slipped into my British accent. Longcaster. And so this car phone holder is absolutely brilliant.
Hello, Amazon.com. It's me, Bo Chevasu, coming to you today in my Toyota Highlander. 2006.
I actually forgot what car I was in. Did you hear me kind of hesitate? I'm in my Toyota Highlander. I don't have a lot of cars. I'm not that wealthy, but yeah, that's right, Highlander. So I'm just going to explain how this thing works right here. I actually saw this on like a taxi cab, and maybe that's why these sell so well. Maybe all the Uber drivers are getting this. But what's nice about this cell phone holder, I'm actually going to play it and talk over it here, is it doesn't clip on. It doesn't go inside a vent. There's a lot of these vent type holders. And this thing is brilliant because, well, okay, by the way, I'm filming on my phone, so my phone is not actually in my case. But that wallet case is awesome. I actually still have that wallet case right here. A different kind because I got a new phone, but same style. Anyway, back to this. You'll see that it will, when you actually have the glass in there, it stays in. And it's kind of this sticky, double-sided material on the back. So clean the top of your dashboard right there and then slap this thing on. And it's been on there for years upon years. Is that an iPhone 6S? I think it is. This review is old. Look at that. Look at how old that watch is that I've got right there. Oh, I've got that old dash cam up there. Man, I have upgraded that since then. But hey, the proof is in the pudding, guys. This cell phone holder has lasted through many, many summers of hot weather, baking, you don't have to attach this cell phone holder to the inside of your windshield, which is wonderful. And so it stays put. I've put my phone in and out of this thing countless times. And I've watched many, many Netflix shows as I've been driving. No, I have not. I'm not that irresponsible. It was that one time I nearly drove off the road. I was laughing at a text so much. Ha! No, that's not a laughing matter. You should be responsible when driving. But this is by far my favorite iPhone holder, and I cannot say enough nice things about it. And so that's it. Hey, there we go. We cranked through absolutely all of my top rated, most helpful reviews that I have produced, and hopefully they are helpful in determining whether or not these things are right for you. Now, as requested by someone on here in the chat, someone said amen. Oh, that was me who said amen. Oh, our little friend Obadiah Bible Boy. So Obadiah Bible Boy has been with me ever since college, and he's a snarky, sarcastic little puppet, and he talks in a high falsetto. Isn't that right?
Yeah, screw you.
Oh, he's a grumpy little guy. Now, his heart is made of gold, so don't judge the book by its cover. That's clever. I just thought of that. Don't judge the book by its cover, because it is good content in the Bible. But on the outside, Obadiah Bible Boy, we did meet in college, and even though he is also a theology major, as am I, he has had a bit rough of a past. And so I'm blown away that my subtitles are actually translating Obadiah Bible Boy automatically. That's amazing. I don't know if they're going to be able to translate his little falsetto. Yeah. Hey, Obadiah, get back here. Oh, there you are. Hey, Obadiah, how did you like today's broadcast?
It stunk.
All right, let's see if it actually translated that on the live broadcast. Oh, I didn't see that. Did you see that, Obadiah?
No, it's because you're blind.
Yeah, oh wow. Okay, maybe it doesn't even pick up falsettos. Sorry, Obadiah. It looks like this translation service is being pushed out to Google. They don't appreciate you. Yeah, sorry. You'll have to save your little prophecies for another time, my little friend. So that's Obadiah Bible Boy. I have all sorts of fun characters, and if you're wondering who is translating, basically whatever I say, it's pushed out through my software and it's automatically put to this artificial intelligence somewhere in the Silicon Valley in California. Yeah, so everything is being listened to. So I better watch myself, and that's actually why I was kind of laughing earlier about me talking about having my FFL, and I'm probably on a no-fly list somewhere. No, I'm not. I've been vetted. I have. The government trusts me. All right, so that is it, everybody. I hope that you've enjoyed today's broadcast. Thank you so much for following. As of yesterday, we just got over 2,100 views. Wow, followers. There's a lot more views than that. But yeah, 2,100 followers. Thank you so much. That means the world. I don't get that much of a kickback from this thing, but it's a lot of fun. I like meeting you guys. I like chatting with you down below. And so that is it. I am signing off this August 30th, 8:22 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, here just south of Seattle, Washington, in a little town called Enumclaw, right up by Mount Rainier. It's a wonderful distance between the wilderness of Mount Rainier and the craziness of Seattle. That's right, we've got Chaz. That's it. My name is Bo Shevasu. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, let me out of here.
Obadiah, be quiet.